Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. Um, at the end of the day, it don't matter how much logic or how much sense you make when you try to talk. People just gonna put something out there because, like I said, they trying to run with a certain narrative and they have a certain agenda that they trying to put out there. And a lot of times, a lot of these dudes mislead the fans. That's something that I'm not doing. That's something that I'm gonna continue to do is try to tell the truth best of my abilities. I give an opinion, but then I'm presenting facts, and then it's amazing when somebody shows proof and then they have presented quotes from other people. They still somehow, some way want to try to put this on somebody else. And it is what it is. And I'm just laughing now. Once again, I have to keep, blowing these people out the water. But at the end of the day, people still trying to make up something. I'm just gonna keep it 100. If y'all that ignorant and y'all in denial about what's going on, then please just stay the hell off my channel. Keep your ass on those other dudes' channels that talk that baloney. All right, so earlier this morning, earlier this morning, I did a stream and the stream went very well. It went very well. And I talked about a lot of different things, which I'm going to do videos about them right now. And one of the subjects that I talked about, this situation with Bud and Sean Porter. People have it set out, like I said, to try to make Bud Crawford look like something that he isn't. But then there was something that happened, and it came out of this person's own mouth. And still somehow, some way, they still trying to make this Bud's fault no matter what. Now, a lot of us have been hoping, most of us, that Bud would take the Sean Porter fight. We think that would be a better fight. Is on his resume, according to, Terrence Bud Crawford naysayers. But then again, it don't matter who he fights because they always got an excuse. Because, like I said, a lot of them are aerospins, nut huggers, and PVC apologists. Now, it was brought to my attention, and then I went and looked myself. Myself. This is true. But somehow, some way, instead of people just, you know, just accepting what's going on, somehow, some way, they still trying to twist the truth. Now, Sean Porter said out of his own mouth, he said he hasn't sent in his paperwork. He hasn't activated his mandatory status. He has to send in Sean as the mandatory for the WBO belt. If Sean activates his mandatory status, he can more than likely get the fight with Bud. Now, there have been some negotiations behind the scenes, but Sean said he hasn't activated it. And somehow, some way, instead of people saying, well, and I'm just keeping it 100. If Sean wants this fight, Sean needs to activate his mandatory status. What is he waiting on? I know what he's waiting on. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at this logically, you know, and Kitty said it out of his own mouth. Sean's father said it out of his own mouth. Sean is not gonna be fighting at age. Sean is gonna be 34 later on. Sean is not gonna be fighting until his late 30s, 40s. Okay? Sean has a future as a broadcaster. Sean, Sean gonna do other things, you know. So this is possibly the best fight out there for him. Me myself, I'm not trying to count people's money. I'm not trying to count people's cash, but to a certain degree, I just think I would, you know what I'm saying? I just think he should take the fight. I think he should take the fight. And that's just real. But you got some of these, like I said, these dummies on here. You got some of these dummies on here that are somehow, some way trying to say Bud is using this as an excuse to get out the fight. That doesn't make any kind of sense. I mean, are you guys that damn blind to where you don't? I mean, it would help if Sean mandated his, you know, mandated his option to get that fight with Bud, but he hasn't done it yet. So at the end of the day, if we really want this fight, we need to go to Sean's social media accounts and say, hey, Sean, activate the mandatory so we could get this fight. I think the fans deserve a fight like this. And this is what I'm saying. This is why boxing is headed in the direction that it's going. Because we can't get nothing. We can't even get a halfway decent fight. You know? Basically what's going on, Team Crawford has called their bluff. They said activated. So what's going on? Why do I have to keep presenting this stuff to you guys? Are you guys that deaf-toned to where you just want to make up shit and you want to see what's out there that doesn't exist? So I'm just keeping it 100. Now I got a lot of different videos I got to do. I'm going black screen on a lot of these videos because I got to get a lot of stuff out today. Because, you know, it take a while sometimes for them blacks, you know, it take a while for some of them videos with all them special effects that you want to see. You know, some of y'all, since some people was complaining about, you know, me just talking to a black screen, which why do you want to see what I look like? Weird, like Tariq Nasheed said. But yeah, I gotta put out a lot of stuff, so you know, it is what it is. So yeah, but some people just don't want to accept the obvious though. So for this fight to happen, Sean needs to activate his mandatory status so he can get that fight, or at least put forward a better effort to where we can try to get this fight. Because Sean has been the mandatory for a while. Bud's last fight, and I'm just keeping it 100. I need to bring some logic to you guys. Bud's last fight was in October. It is now March. Sean has been the mandatory since like August. To be honest with you, we could have got a fight negotiated between December and January, and we could have got this fight probably made by this month. I need to bring that to y'all attention. Nobody has talked about that. Once again, Sean's last fight was in August. Bud's last fight was in October or November. So once again, you could have started negotiating a couple of weeks after the Kell Brook fight. But I think Sean's last fight was, in August, and Bud fought, I think, in October. So the Kell Brook fight was a while ago. So we could have got this fight made and we could have got it set for March. Why don't you guys want to accept the obvious? What's going on? Like I said, we can't go nowhere until Sean mandates his option for the WBO. This is the same thing Danny Garcia did. So, you know, it is what it is. If you don't accept it, that's your problem. You guys are just in denial. Just for real, keep your ass on them other people's channel that be talking that baloney. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.